All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Morning. This market sure ran up yesterday. I actually just had an LRE here. Morning. Morning was, I didn't take a trade yesterday. It was a little bit wild with the CPI report. But then it looks like, the market just ran up yesterday. NQ went over 7% on the day. All right, let's see what we have going on here. Do have a simplicity long. We had technically two LREs now. Kind of at the 30 tick, we're hitting up against the CUI. So would kind of like a reset and then another long, or just a simplicity short. Let's kind of wait for that. That's great, Richard. Green week.
Double cluster NQ.
Yeah. Jameson, that's kind of what I'm looking at. As far as this a range, I guess. If it starts heading down, though, well, there was kind of a choppy area on the 30 tick.
Potential TX on NQ.
If it heads down, then, of course, it'll get into this little choppy area. So, yeah, then I'd probably be looking for it to break below that. However, if it starts heading down, there's a nice, we just made this nice ZOI crash on the 30 tick. If it kind of starts heading down and looks pretty clean and gives a pullback LRE, then I may be willing to take that to continue down. Yeah, Chris, that's funny. Don't tell me that. Let me see. I checked my simplicity to make sure it matched. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's probably whenever I was loading my chart. It probably loaded incorrect. Let me refresh my 30 tick. It's going to probably pause here for a second because it's refreshing my 30 tick. 2 down, 1 up. Low quail chop. Actually, that might not fix. I'd probably have to shut down everything. So it looks like that may have been a data error when all my charts were loading. Especially because yesterday the market ran up so much. There were so many ticks produced that it took, extra long for my charts to load this morning. May take a minute. Yeah, Chris, you have quite a bit of tech issues. My 10 tick, it didn't load my Lorex, but I was okay with that. I didn't feel like refreshing my Lorex because it took so long this morning for my charts to load because of yesterday. Usually my 30 tick refreshes really fast. So that goes to show you how many ticks were produced yesterday. It's a whole lot. Oh, wow, Richard. Yeah, my mistakes never make me money. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that chop is still going to be there on my 30 tick after the charts reload. I'm just going to have to make sure, because I'm not going to shut everything down. That would take way too long. I just have to make sure that wherever the market goes, it's correct from there. And have to keep eyeballing the room chart. Actually, I mean, the order prints are in the right area, so that's fine. It just gave a couple extra bars of chop for some reason. But all the order prints are where they need to be. Yeah. So I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, I just got a couple extra bars in there. That's fine. Yeah. 100 ticks is ginormous for me. But because I don't trade micros, so small risk, could trade larger. Yeah, Chris, you always get 100 tick runs. Might be breaking long. Let's see if it goes. Got the rose wall up there. Oh no, that's the flux. Actually, let me make sure I've refreshed those flux levels in dynamic magnets. Yeah, it looks like we have the flux level up there. I mean, we got quite a bit up there. Crash, gap level, deviation. We'll see if we can break this mini magnet on the 30 tick if it does want to continue up. There's the mini magnet I'm talking about.
Double cluster NQ. Potential TX on NQ.
Scrolling back, looking for any TBSs or ICRs or anything like that on the 30 tick. Not really seeing anything.
Double cluster NQ.
All right. JFT. Let's see. $734.24. Yeah, there wasn't a JFT. There was too much chop before then. It wasn't really in a clear trend. So I mean, did have some divergence, but it was really too choppy. If we look back here, because I mean, it did go lower on less, but it wasn't real clean. All this chop right here kind of made it real
Potential TX on NQ.
kind of ugly. Yeah, they usually say for the JFTs they want them in your face, picture clear. I mean, that could still be like that could be an indicator though of even if it's not a JFT where you can say, okay, maybe the market is exhausted, maybe that could be a bottom. And if you do get a long but not a JFT, some other type of entry long, that could be a good indicator to, go ahead and take it. So it did lay another mini magnet just below that other one. with ODD on it on the 10 tick. So let's see what it wants to do. A lot of ZOIs right there. Might lay a mini magnet if this bar closes down on the 30 tick. That might be an indicator that it'll push down. Right here. If this can close at 703.75, we might get that push down. Maybe. Okay, there it goes. Now I would think this would push down at least to this ZOI or dev. Obviously, it could chop, but that's what I'm thinking that this should push down to, with it leaving this mini magnet right here. Of course, we do have some walls and a couple things in the way, so could hesitate. All right, pushing down through these walls. We do have a simplicity short going.
Potential SLZ on NQ.
Ooh, might get a SLZ off these walls.
SLZ on NQ.
Hasn't really pushed down, but if we get some HD in a pullback up to that bottom, this little choppy bottom area here, I might take a short because we do have HD. Right off these walls. It was just trying to wait for it to pull back a little more. Ooh, look at that. Let's hope it doesn't just blow through. It's testing that bottom. See if it comes back. There we go. Got a nice little winner on that one, LRE. Had a lot of good HD going for it. See, if I scroll back to the left, if you look left. Nice, Richard. If you scroll back to the left, it kind of had a bottom here, right? Chopped around, tried to push up this wall. It couldn't really, it acted as a support in a sense. Broke down. Everything looks like it's pushing down. Came back up to retest that bottom, that support with HD and LRE. So push back down for the win. Nice, nice. Good one. All right, that was LRE. Well, I'm going to consider that LRE number 1 because the first pullback on the simplicity here, where it laid that mini magnet, it went kind of sideways and was kind of choppy. Man, this is one I almost considered entering this one with no profit no profit target and trailing. That would have been nice to do, but I wanted to secure my first win. It's been a week of me not trading of quite a few days, so I wanted to secure some profit there. Nice, Chris. Try to get the spike through the double mini skip. Yeah, doctor, that's why I didn't get in immediately. If you notice, whenever it spiked up, I didn't jump right in because it did that spike. And as soon as I saw, because you can see this wick here on this reversal bar, I didn't get in exactly. I let it start to kind of come down a little bit, and then I jumped in because of that little spike. Yeah, this would have definitely been one where I wished I would have trailed, but hey, it's all right. I got my 25 ticks. I'm definitely happy with that. Good job, Chris. Oh, Jeff, you had the wrong ATM. I hate that. Good morning, Ish. Hey, Mark, that's all right. You know, it sucks, but that's the smart move, really. If you made a mistake, and yeah, you know yourself. You know, if you make a mistake and you end up going off full tilt, and that's the best decision for you, then you just can't have any FOMO, you know, on missing any trades after that. Just, it's the best thing. It's Friday. You don't want to spin off out of control and then have to think about it all weekend.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Hey, that's all right, Richard. You know, you're still getting, you got your Lorexes down. So now, you know, getting these LREs, I remember when I started getting into LREs, it was a little nerve wracking because now instead of sitting in a trade for 9 ticks that can take maybe 5 seconds, you're in a LRE going for double or more and could take a lot longer. And, you know, got to get used to it. Morning, John. Yeah, that's great, Richard. You're doing awesome. You're doing awesome with that discipline, for sure. Everything else will come once you get that under control. It sounds like you're getting it. Yeah, there you go, Mark. Tell yourself that's what you could have got if you were patient. And then hopefully that'll help for the future. All right, I'm not going to take, I don't think I'll take an LRE if it pulls back now. Because it got a little choppy coming down. This is, you know, we're at this deviation. We're at this mini magnet. It didn't go much further than this when it came down earlier. We are building up some HD, but it might not come back down here. Or it might chop. This is an LRE, but I guess it probably would have won. But see, we are down here. So it pulled back up to here. You know, there's just not much giving me confidence that it's going to continue on. I mean, it wasn't a bad trade. It had HD. But I didn't like the chop heading down, and I really want a very nice looking one. Yeah, see, it really wants to push up That's what I was. Fortunately, if you took the LRE, it won. Let's see. I think it won 95. Yeah, this thing that LRE won. So you'd have been good. But I felt like that could have been the bottom, and the push down, I wasn't too confident. So there you go, Richard. Yep. I remember you telling me that story at the wealth event, the wealth summit. That's awesome. Yeah, just take that mentality and put it towards your evaluation PAs. Yeah, Jean, it had HD. I mean, but it was choppy coming down. But yeah, this pullback here was not above the last one, so 160. Yep, that would be HD. Which that's probably the reason why it got the win. If that was the only really confirmation that I liked on that one, but there was a couple red flags for me. Looks like we're going back up and testing that mini magnet now again on the 30 tick. What's the, let's see, 11620, 11770. Okay. Yeah, we're not close to the top or the bottom or the high or the low of the day, so nothing to worry about there. Nice, Bill. Yeah, it wasn't a bad one to take. It just, because usually on Fridays, and depending on how my week has been, I'm a little bit more conservative sometimes. Because I just hate going into the weekend with a really bad day. if it's my fault. If it's just that the trade's lost and the market lost, whatever. But let's see. Got Thanksgiving coming up in a couple weeks. All right, now I am waiting. Yeah. Yeah, especially if I have a bad Friday because did something stupid. Oh, that eats me up. You got to wait all the way till Monday. Yeah, usually whenever I would blow my accounts, it would be Fridays also. Because whenever I used to go out of control, if it was a Friday, I wouldn't want it. I would have that in my mind where I wouldn't want to go into the weekend with a bad day. So I would, let me take one more, and then loss. That one loses, and then I might as well take one more now. I already broke my rules, and then all of a sudden it's blown out. And it's like crap. Just glad those days are gone.
Potential TX on NQ.
Yeah, one more. I found out, a lot of times in life in general, one more is usually not a good idea. No matter what it is. Just one more. All right, let's see. Trying to get a simplicity short here. We do have an actual simplicity entry. We had a setup bar here, broke the low under this wall. That wouldn't be one I would take because we have some massive, I mean, it's kind of a range, but it is HD technically because we have a new, well, not really. Yeah, it's too much of a range. Yeah, this is too much of a range. I'd want this to continue to break. At this point, I want it to break below this bottom here where this deviation level is, a mini magnet down here on the 30 tick. But then below there, I mean, we have some walls, some more order prints. A little bit messy down there. Although we do have settlement not too far away if it breaks this deviation. So we'll see where it, look at that, double mini magnets on top of this wall. That's a nice little push off there. Yeah, so there used to be, when the 30 tick is in a range, there was called a power play 1 and a power play 2, where basically if you got an ODD in a range, that was a power play 1. And that's how we used to be able to play the ranges. So if it was a clear range, but the bar closed down no more than about a bar below with ODD and headed up, that'd be a power play 1, and you could play that to go back to the top of the range. Same thing with the opposite way. If it was HD, but within like a bar or so at the top or the bottom, you know, if it didn't, like if this goes back up and didn't make it quite to the top and had HD on it and closed down, then that'd be a power play 2 to work it back down. We don't really go over those that much or talk about them anymore, but I still look at it. It still kind of applies. Yeah, if this went down a little further, because, you know, ODD has to make a lower low, so it would need to come down about here, around this area, and kept the ODD and then closed up, that'd be a power play 1, and you could play it, if there's a long, play it to the top of the range. So that's kind of how to play the ranges there. So if you get a power play 1 or power play 2 and you get a simplicity long to go with it, you know, you could take it and try to trail it up to the top, or if it goes up, pulls back for an LRE, then go long and trail it to the top. I know there's somewhere that they still have that power play 1 and 2 explanation somewhere. I'd have to find it. But see, on the 30 tick, it didn't go make a lower, you know, it didn't go lower, so it's not a ODD or power play 1. Especially like in this scenario, this is part of just, you know, reading the order prints and stuff. If this would have come down a little further, like I said, and then leaves a mini magnet too and keeps the ODD and heads up, yeah, that thing's probably going to run back up to the top of that range. In this case, it didn't happen, but, you know, I look for stuff like that. right. We're in a little bit of a mess here. Just kind of wait and see what happens.
Double cluster and Q. Double cluster and Q.
Hey, there you go, doctor. Take it nice and easy. Wait for a great trade.
Potential OP.
Don't be worried about getting it today either if you don't have to. If there's just no opportunity, you have to do it Monday. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Especially $8. Like, that's all you need. Not even a full trade. Just, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe just do, a couple micros or something. If you do 2 micros, I mean, all you need is an 8-tick move. One little scalp. And then if it loses, then you don't have, at least you don't have a full loss. Just a small one. Exactly, Chris. Something like that. Jeff. Oh, man, Vegas. I mean, I've had a couple times where I've been really close and then, maybe $20, $30, $40 away and then end up getting back to like $100 away and then I end up getting it funded. But all right, 50 tick chop. Mike, let's look for a breakout now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 6th bar of chop. Okay, now I'm going to be looking for that breakout. Y'all hear me say it every day. I'm waiting for 1 bar to close either up or down. And then see if we get some other signal that it's going to continue. That down close, pull back and run, or up close, pull back and run. Maybe. Market's not really moving great right now, so we'll see. Just waiting for this breakout now. Oh, man. 67 cents. Dang. Oof. Man, those are tough. Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the copier. I mean, when you see people on Facebook or anywhere complain about the copier, I'm just going to say it. Most of the time, it's user error. Yeah, the copier's not 100% perfect. You do have to watch your positions. But most of the time, it's user error. Even myself. Y'all saw, what was it, 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday? I selected something wrong. And it just like messed. It took contracts and accounts that I didn't want it done and tripled them. But that was my fault. So as long as you double check, triple check that thing, you'll be fine. It's just people can't, most of the time, they can't accept that it was their own mistake, or they're just trying to get like a free reset or something out of it. Chris knows all about that. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice to have, Nikita. Like a flat and all or something on the copier. But really, it's just a copier, It doesn't place any orders for you. It doesn't get you out of orders. It's literally a copier. Yeah, I mean, and things like that can happen like whenever, especially if you have a lot of accounts or trading multiple contracts, depends on the market, liquidity, things like that. If something doesn't get filled, then it comes back and gets filled. So, I mean, yeah, because like I said, it's just a copier. So it'll put orders out there, and then hopefully if the market is cooperating, it gets everything filled correctly. Yeah, Dan, that's yeah, I usually have on my phone also as a last resort the Apex flatten all on the website on the Apex Trader Funding. And then on my I have my rhythmic positions and my Ninja Trader positions. I've never really even had an issue where I flatten all in my positions tab on Ninja Trader where that doesn't work. But, I've got 3 options. 'Good morning, the Beat Trading. Good to see you. Yeah, had a nice win a little bit ago, about 20 minutes ago or so. Nice little low risk entry. Got about 25 ticks on it. So now market's just kind of moving sideways, waiting to see where it wants to go. Yeah, big red button. Emergency. Thank you. Yeah, I think quite a few people got that trade too. Of course, not copying me, full disclosure. For the and we're still on this 50 tick bar, 50 tick chop. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, still on that 6th bar of chop on the 50 tick. I noticed a lot of times too, when the market does like it did yesterday and it just has a crazy running day. I mean, the market went up so much. A lot of times the next day is in choppy or in a range or a big zone. I mean, not always, but I've just noticed that happens a lot. Of course, that's the great thing about how we trade here with the Apex system is we don't really need, we don't need big, long, huge runs. We just need our little opportunities in there. Of course, if you trade simplicity, it's great to get some big ones, but you don't need them all the time. Yeah, and today is technically, it's a bank holiday, so. Chris, you know nothing about simplicity. All right, 50 tick bar, 6th bar closed. Just waiting for a breakout bar. Yeah, I bet so, Richard. Yeah, it is a simp long. But I'd be waiting for that breakout bar on the 50 tick, really. This thing is ugly. I mean, that you should be able to scalp this simplicity, if anything, or at least be able to get it into a break-even position eventually. That mini magnet, just lay that mini magnet on the 30. Maybe that'll be a push off to go long, at least to test this area up here. We'll see. There you go. Good job, doctor. Congrats, congrats. Global sim immediately. We don't want any accidental button pushes, anything. Okay. All right. Well, then just make sure and remove it from the copier immediately. Double check, triple check.
Double cluster and cube.
Yeah. If those evals are not close, no, I don't know. I'm sure you got it. Just make sure that thing is definitely not on your trade copier. All right, 9 o'clock. Let's see if we get any movement here with some new traders coming in. We have a lot of volume, 141,000. So it's pretty good volume. For this hour, anyways. Or this time right now.
Potential OP rejection on NQ. OP rejection on NQ.
This 11,700 area is just market deciding, trying to decide where it wants to go. It's not very sure if it wants to continue long or go short. Waiting game. But you see that trade today put me in profit from, was it yesterday? No, day before yesterday. I lost that 15 ticks. So that's why I wasn't worried about it. A losing day of 15 ticks because I already made 25 today. And also, when you are able to be consistent, patient, disciplined, and you're taking low risk setups, you don't have to trade micros. You could trade a little larger. We have an early entry simplicity short. Still in this kind of nasty area. Both of mine are angled down. Let me see if... Let me make sure mine's matching the rune chart again. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. That top one can kind of... It's not very clear. Well, now it's pretty clear we have a short. But yeah, that early entry was kind of sideways on that top line. Yeah, I agree with you, Chris, on that early entry. But now we do have a short. I like it being clear. If you got to, and that's what Daryl said before, if you got to kind of say, is it really angled? I don't know. I can't really tell. Just consider it not. But now it's definitely angling down. It's hitting that mini magnet, though. So if you're still in it, Chris, I'd be behind that mini magnet. Okay. Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, because you're already You're already in nice profit today, so only take a low risk entry. Way to do it. So that's how you manage. That's how you manage your money management there. There you go. Allow yourself to make more money, but you're guaranteed profit today. So that's perfect. All right, let's see if we can break and keep going short. Where's this mini magnet? The next 30 tick mini magnet is this one down here on this wall at 671.25. We got a wall mini magnet on the 10 tick and on the 30 tick. And that was the recent low. It's not the low of the day, but the recent low. So if we can break this mini magnet here on the 30 tick that we're hitting now, which we are kind of breaking, if we can break this, I think we're going to run down to at least that 671 area. Even though we have a wall here in the way, we do have a cluster way left on the 30 tick at 677.50. So we might hit this little area and then get a little either hesitation or pullback before it comes down to 671.25. So if I can get an LRE below this deviation, I'll probably take it short.
Potential OP rejection on NQ. OP rejection on NQ.
Which right now an LRE would be way up here at this mini magnet that pushed us down through the deviation, which is way up here, 93.25-ish, 92 actually. Which I don't hate that one, to be honest, but I don't think it'll pull all the way back up there. Yeah, I agree, Richard. I don't think it'll pull all the way back up there. I just don't want it to get into an ugly, messy chop down here before we get an entry. All right, we're testing, again, this little wall and dynamic magnet, or mini magnet, sorry. That's that hesitation area I was mentioning. It's breaking through, maybe. Getting some ODD on the 10 tick. There's ODD on the 10. Now an LRE would be at the deviation, which I still don't mind. I would like something to go with it. We do have a cluster here on the 30 tick bar, on our bar right now. Now, if the cluster stays down towards the bottom of the bar, I'm okay with taking a short up at the deviation. If that cluster stays where it is right now, which I don't want to pull it over right now because I don't want to miss something. But I don't really like this chop right here at this wall. But like I said, I was expecting hesitation there. But it laid this cluster on the 30 tick exactly where the cluster, just about exactly where it is way to the left. I still kind of like this LRE though, off this deviation, unless it lays something on its way up that I don't like. Or gets really choppy first. So these double clusters on the 10 tick, see how it came up and it's coming back to test these double clusters here, which is where the cluster is on the 30 tick. I'm starting to like this less now, though. If we can keep the HD, I might still like it. But I don't really like how it's... It's probably going to go down now if this bar closes short on the 10 tick. See, now I don't like it if it does pull back up to here. Because, see, now if it pulls back up to here for an LRE... We have this ZOI, now we have this mini magnet here, and this area with the wall where it could get a little choppy there. So actually I want this to continue running a little bit short first. Give me an LRE at a lower price area. But we do have our 50 tick breakout for sure. All right, now it's hitting that mini magnet. If it actually breaks that mini magnet, that'd be nice. And then came back and tested it. I just don't think, well, I don't know. I just don't think it would go right through it. But looks like it might be. Now an LRE would be up here at this wall where it kind of chopped around at and couldn't get back above. So it's still, yeah, it's going right through that mini magnet. Nikita, I don't change anything. I just load the 50 tick. It's a 50-50 and continuum chart. And I just load the template, the John's template, JFT template. I keep it clean, no order prints. I just put the deviation, have the deviation levels on them. That's it. All right, okay, so the LRE would be at this lower wall right now. I don't love that it would have to come back through. It'd come back above that mini magnet, back through it, We'll see, though, if it pulls back, if it gives me any HD or anything to go with it. At this point, though, I don't see a reason why it would stop going short. So, oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I have 5 days on that one because that one really doesn't take much to load or anything since there's no order prints. I'll check in a second, but I think I have like 5 days. Yeah, there's this gap wall. You and me both, Chris. We have double clusters down here now. So it depends how far this pulls back. It's kind of consolidating a little bit on the simplicity chart here and going a little bit sideways. Don't really love that. Although we might get an LRE. We have a lot of HD. Might get an LRE right here. Let's see. Kind of like this. I don't like the double clusters below, but see if it comes back a little bit more. Yeah. This is a nice one. I hesitated, so I had to stay out. The double clusters, I was really thinking if I wanted to take it with these double clusters here. Let's see, did it pull back enough? 72. Yeah, it pulled back enough. I hesitated on that one. I liked it, but I was thinking too much if I wanted to take it with those double clusters there, because that was definitely a red flag. And then that setup, the TX, the HD. I mean, this is a beautiful trade. I just hesitated. Dang. Nice, Dan. All right, Vegas. Have a good one. Good job. Good job, Dan. Yeah, that's what I would have done too. Double clusters kept me out, but everything else, way more confirmations to override those double clusters. I just hesitated and I didn't want to jump in. That was a beautiful trade. I liked that it was off that mini magnet too. On the 30 tick. That bottom mini magnet pulled back up right there, tested it. HD, absorption X, TX short. I mean, everything, so many confirmations. I was looking at those double clusters. It took off without me. I had time to get in. I just didn't want to chase it. Because if I would have waited and got in when I decided, okay, I think I want to take it, it would have been really close to those double clusters. And then if it lost, I would have been mad at myself. Yeah, Chris, I was close. I almost hopped in. No, Paul. So you have to be a gold member to get access to the simplicity chart. So they have the gold for silver pricing, but you do have to be a paying gold member. And then you have to subscribe to CBOE indices data as well. I know, Chris. Look, this is the one. Man, this would have been... That was a beautiful trade. See? Normally I don't hesitate. But those double clusters had me hesitate. They had me hesitate, and then... Oh, well. I know. So close. I almost hit sell. I was there. I almost hit the button. But I was like, if I hit the button, I'm going to be in pretty close to these clusters. And if it does shoot up and I lose, I'm going to be mad saying, why did I take this trade right there at those clusters? So, oh well. All good. See, and this makes the third LRE here, so I'm not taking that. Well, I guess actually no, that's technically the second now, but it's going back into this wall and dynamic magnet. Yeah, it's technically technically the second that just happened. Yeah, there wasn't nothing else going for me on that one. Plus, that green bar shot up quick. Only thing that's going for it is we got close to settlement and it didn't hit settlement. Yeah. I don't like the zippiness either. Now we might get some ODD down at settlement on the 30 tick if it gets there. See, we definitely have the DR decreasing big time. So if this bar does come down to settlement, I'm sure we'll have some ODD, and then it'd be interesting to see where it goes from there. And that was a nice straight shot too. Look at that. Entry would have been around 71.50.
Potential TX on NQ.
Wow.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
That was a nice move.
Double cluster NQ.
All right, there we go. Now it's down at settlement, 14% ODD on the 30 tick. See where it goes from here. We have nice big hill, little hill, DR.
Double cluster NQ.
Maybe a sign that this is the bottom. Or, we'll see what happens here. Double clusters on the 10. May want to keep running. See, it did get on the 10 tick close to settlement here. Pulled up, tried to kind of come down. Now it's coming back to it again. Hitting it. This 30 tick setting up exhaustion as well. So pushing through. Getting close to dark zone here. Be wrapping up my live stream here in just a few minutes. because I do need a reset. I do need a reset on Simplicity now since we had 2 LREs. Yeah, that is one of my favorite. On the pullback, I really look for, as far as OP, I mean, if there was anything to the left that was acting like, for example, if it's a short, if there's anything to the left that was acting as a support and we broke it and we come back to pull back to it, it doesn't still have to be on the chart itself. Like, it could be to the left. Just like let's see, that one that I liked at 913. Let's see here. Let me pull up my Simplicity. It had that mini magnet here to the left on that wall. Broke through, pulled back to where it was, even though it's still on the left, and then came down, and it left us some, a paw there and stuff. So that's what I kind of look for is things like that. Nice, Chris. Good job. Yeah. I look at the 30 tick, 10 tick, and then also, if it gives me a lot of HD, I'll just go with a big HD too. All right, we're about 5 minutes to the dark zone. So I'm going to hop off of here. Hope everybody has a great day, great weekend. End the week right. And, yep, I will see y'all Monday. Thanks for joining here, and trade well.